Tsebo. It means it means knowledge, also known as Jnana. I'm from South
Okay.
Africa. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
practitioner of Hinduism, and I also admire many Sanskrit texts. So I called you here today because I wanted to discuss a few topics on this vast knowledge of Sanatana Dharma, and I would like for you to share knowledge with us, especially the subscribers on my channel and the people who are in our group chat. So this is
Okay.
why I've called you here. Can you please introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, I am Pradeep Mahaur. Basically, I am a business graduate, but I had a deep interest in Sanatan Dharma as well as Vedic teachings. So I have been practicing meditation from 8 years of age. So hope you are doing well there. I think it's very hot out there, na?
No, it's actually cold. It's we are in the middle of winter.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yes,
okay.
my continent is actually at the south. So in the south, we're currently having winter.
Okay.
Yes.
That's really great.
So yes. So for the first question that I'm asking, do you believe in astrology?
Okay. Look, I definitely believe in astrology, but with its limitations. How? I'll tell you. Basically, what happens is astrology is a great, study altogether. Uh, let's relate it with the common things. Have you heard about high tide and low tide? Right?
Um, can you please explain? I've never heard
High
about it.
tide and low tide, right? Whenever there is a full moon, right? So there is a high tide in the ocean, means waves, move on the near the shore, right? And whenever there is a no moon night, that time because of the gravity of the moon, right? The waves move farther away from the shore, isn't it? So
Okay.
so this happens because of the gravity of the moon, right? So in the similar fashion, human body is also 70% water, right? And 30% of earth. On our earth also, there is 70% water and 30% earth. So composition of human body is similar to that of the composition of earth, isn't it? So we are the people who are connected to the ecosystem. This ecosystem, we are a part of this ecosystem. Our human body, as we are made up of different layers of bodies, right? So our tangible body is made up of the elements from this earth only. So it has to have some similarity with the earth. So have you heard about auroras? You know what happens is during certain time period, sun radiations or sun wavelengths, they create some kind of a happening which is called auroras. You know, there is a light waves that we can see, right? So these kind of phenomena happen because of because something is happening in the cosmic system, isn't it? So at the time when certain person is born, at that time this cosmic system has certain kind of arrangement. So this arrangement may be the position of moon, position of sun,
Yes.
position of different planets, right? Position of different stars as well, right? So as per the cosmic situation of each and every star, there it has to create some kind of effect on your body, isn't it? Right? So what is astrology? Basically, astrology calculates two things. One, at the time of your birth, because before your birth you were in the mother's womb, right? When you were born, at that time you took your first breath out of this ecosystem of our planet, mother planet earth, right? So that time the planetary position, the cosmic arrangement, the arrangement of our earth, arrangement of different planets will have an impact on your personality, right? Now that is the impact that happened because you were born at certain time. Now, at every moment, say for example today, if somebody tries to find out how are you doing today, so what he'll do is he'll check the planetary positions today, right? So what he'll do is, if he can even check the planetary positions tomorrow. He can check the planetary positions 10 years ahead from today. I mean, he can even check the planetary positions 1 week after today, isn't it? So these positions, because you have a certain personality or certain planet, if it is in a certain direction, it will have an impact on your behavior today also, isn't it? So this is what is astrology. But what is happening is people are taking astrology in a different direction. What they are thinking, astrology is meant for prediction. Frankly saying, astrology is not meant for prediction. For example, if astrologer has to predict that would you be getting married, for example, right? So definitely an astrologer can predict that you will be getting married or not. But if you ask him that I will be getting married to certain girl, right?
Yes.
Will he be able to predict? Can any planet predict this? No, they cannot predict. Astrology in Sanskrit, right? In Sanskrit, it is called as Jyotisha,
Yes.
right? Jyotisha. So Jyotish can be divided into two parts. One is Jyoti. Jyoti means light, है ना?
Okay.
Or ish means showing. So showing light. So it can definitely throw a light on your future, but it cannot predict exactly what is going to happen at this point in time. So astrology is a great study. Means it has some boundaries, it has some limitations. Let's take another example. For example, medical science, right? Medical science
Yes.
can definitely do some good to us, isn't it? But
Definitely.
if
Yes.
you say that, somebody is dying, right, and medical science will be able to save him from death, no, it cannot. So this is the limitation of medical science, isn't it? So every study has its own limitations, right? So because medical science means a person has to die even after so much of study, so that study is wasted. No, that is not wasted. That study has its own relevance, and we have to understand the relevance of the study and the limitations as well. So within the limitations of astrology, but definitely I believe in astrology. And if you go beyond the limitations, definitely, when there are some people who are trying to make many predictions, right? And they are trying to make time-based predictions. So definitely, they are not correct. They will not be able to do it. Astrology is not meant for that purpose. So if it is not meant for that purpose, so definitely they are trying to either fool people, right? Either they are trying to fool people, or whatever. I'll not comment on them. So let's move on another question.
Okay. Thank you for your description on it. I actually see it. I see it better when you explain it that way, because most people, they look upon astrology or any system of divination as as if it's something that dictates their life or their destiny. But now, since you've explained, I have a clear understanding, and I also want to ask another question, which is related to what you said about your practice of mantras and
Hmm.
tapas. So, if I'm saying it correctly, um, it's called tantra. Do you,
Okay.
do you,
Hmm.
yes, do tantra think that tantra is good or bad?
Tantra is good or bad? Look,
Yes.
Tantra is a practice by which you can change the nature of this world, right? So, first of all, I mean, there's a lot of confusion regarding Tantra. So, what is Tantra? There are three important aspects of Vedic Tantra. So, it is known as Vedic Tantra. So, there are three important aspects of Vedic Tantra. One is Tantra, second is Mantra, and third is Yantra. So, let us understand the Sanskrit meaning of these three first. So, Tan means body. In Sanskrit, Tan means human body. Tra means tool. So when you utilize the human body as a tool for gaining the divine merits, right?
Okay. Yes. Yes.
Right? So that is known as Tantra. Even yoga is Tantra. Yoga
Yes.
is a part of Tantra, right? Pranayama is part of Tantra. So what people consider it some kind of a, sadhu is sitting in a cremation ground and he is just throwing some weeds or whatever in the fire and wearing all sorts of bones and all that. That is known as Tantra. That is not Tantra. That is very very small part of Tantra. So I'll go to it. I'll explain about that also. So second part is mantra, right? What is mantra? Mantra are reverberations, basically words. They are words, right? Certain words that create a certain reverberation in human body and even outside and even in the cosmic world, right? So those reverberations, they have very strong effect on a human being and the outside environment. Mantra means man. Mantra can be divided into two parts, man and tra. So what is man? As per the Vedic theory, man rests in the heart, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
yes. So heart doesn't mean, when I say heart that doesn't mean that pumping device. Heart here means, because pumping device is just an instrument that is working inside your body. That is an organ, right? It has nothing to do with your emotions, feelings, desires. It has nothing to do with that. So ultimately, I am talking about the heart chakra. So all the feelings, emotions, desire, they arise from the heart chakra, right? So when you start chanting a mantra, you are putting certain reverberations in your heart chakra. And those reverberations will connect you and the divine world all together. And it has a potential to make some changes. That changes can be positive, and even that changes can be negative. Right? It can go both ways, depending upon which kind of a mantra you are chanting. Right? So this is the broader definition of mantra. Then third is yantra. So yan means outside object. Tra means tool. So when you're using outside object, for example, I say that this is a kind of yantra. So this is an outside object which I'm treating as a tool. So now it is just useless. It is just piece of plastic, isn't it? But if I keep on chanting certain mantra, put it in front of me daily, right? Then there will be certain kind of changes in the energy levels of this device, right? In the similar fashion, I mean, this is something I means it is not related to Vedic text, right? If we create a kind of geometric diagram, because Vedic rishis, they did a lot of research on this subject, so they created certain kind of geometric diagrams. Those geometric diagrams had a capability to absorb those powers. So when you keep even a statue is also an yantra. So tantra, mantra, and yantra, these three things are most important. No, that is a complete study altogether. So this theory of tantra, mantra, yantra is divided into many different parts. Many different parts, like first two basic parts, that is Vam Marga
Yes.
and Dakshina Marga. right? So what is Dakshin Marga? Dakshin Marga is basically a pure form of worship, right? Then Vam Marga is not impure, not impure. It is a form of worship which involves use of certain tamasic tattva. The tamasic tattva means the things that are considered bad. So if somebody is, say, for example, drinking an alcohol, right? So it is considered bad in sattvic kind of worship. But if he is habitual drinker and he feels that he'll not be able to leave it, then ultimately Hinduism says even he can worship God.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? He can also worship God. It recommends that you should be sattvic. But if you cannot, still you can. So that person will not go for a sattvic worship. Because if you are practicing meditations through the sattvic means, then ultimately you have to be a pure vegetarian, right? You cannot have any kind of intoxicating things, right, in your body. You have to have clean mind, clean body, isn't it? But if you are a tamasic person, you can worship the way you want. There are some extreme forms of tamas. Tamasic people are called tamas. So there are some extreme forms of tamas. So aghod is the extreme form of tamas. है ना? So we'll not go into depth of aghod and all that, but basically Sanatan Dharma or Vedic Dharma does it like that. No, everybody, every human being is different, and there will be certain kind of positive characteristics in a human being and certain kind of a negative characteristics, right? So if you have more of positive, right, more of sattvic, then you can choose the sattvic path. And if you have more of tamasic pravatti, like if you cannot leave non-vegetarian food, right, you continue with eating non-vegetarian food, then then still you can worship, you can meditate, but the ways and procedures will be different.
Definitely. So, can I also ask another question with regards to the mantra? There's a mantra that I keep on seeing, and it's a very, very powerful mantra. I've chanted it before, which is called the Gayatri mantra. I've noticed in many Hindu traditions, they give diksha to their children when they are young. They give them diksha to Gayatri mantra, and then they chant it up until a certain age. Can you please explain all the benefits of that?
Okay, look, Gayatri mantra, है ना, is so important. Like say, each and every person who is practicing Hinduism will at least know one mantra, and that will be Gayatri mantra, right?
Yes.
So, Gayatri mantra is basically the mantra of a divine goddess. So, who is that divine goddess? Divine goddess who is invisible, right? And what is the name of that goddess? Name of that goddess is Savitu. Right. So how we chant this mantra? Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Right. So Tat Savitu. Right. Tat means that. Tat means that, and Savitu is the divine goddess. So, who is that divine goddess? Basically, the radiations that are coming from the sun is the divine goddess. So, in Vedic Dharma, when we say God or goddess, so God and goddess are not male and female. We have to understand that. God is the creator of rules, and goddess is the facilitator of rules, because Hindu gods and goddesses or Vedic gods and goddesses are not in the human form. You can worship them in any form, right? but they are not in the human form. They are basically the cosmic powers that we are worshipping. So when you are worshipping cosmic powers, there has to be two different dimensions of that cosmic power. One dimension will be the creator of rules. For example, Brahma. Brahma is considered as the creator. Matter is Brahma. So how do we gain the knowledge of that creation? So the energy that facilitates gaining the knowledge of that creation, right, is the mother goddess.
Oh, okay.
In the same fashion, like say Shiva, like Shiva is considered as the destroyer, right? So destroyer doesn't mean destruction completely. No, it is not going to be to destroy us. So destroyer simply means that running this ecosystem. Destruction is the most important theory of this ecosystem. Say, for example, if you are eating a food,
Yes.
so it has a piece of grain. So that grain, if you had thrown in the soil, it would grow into a plant, isn't it?
Yes.
So, but if you eat that grain, it will be destroyed. But because of that destruction, you have survived. If you stop eating, what will happen? You'll not survive, no? So destruction is most important phenomena of this ecosystem. So without destruction, nothing can survive. But Shiva
Okay. Yes.
is the creator of this rule. Right? Shiva is the creator of this rule. Shiva is the phenomena of this destruction process by which we are surviving. Parvati is the goddess. Parvati is the facilitator of this rule. Parvati is the Shakti. Right? Parvati is the Shakti. Right? Shakti, power. So what you gain out of it is the power. So this is how, it's not male or female. There is no male or female in the divine world. Right?
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely, there's no male or female. Okay, I like this one. No problem. So thank
Yeah.
you for this discussion this far, and then we'll continue next week.
Yeah, Yogi ji, I'm really impressed talking to you. You know, when I saw the picture of Goddess Lakshmi behind you, just behind you, so
So
even there is a Shri Yantra there. Great. So you're already practicing so many things. That's really great to talk to you.
thank you,
Thank
sir,
you
and thank you
too.
for
Take care
thank you for
and have a nice day. Blessings.
thank